From a distance, this mound of earth situated at the port of Tripoli in Lebanon looks harmless. But if we get closer, you'll see that it isn't a mound of earth at all. It's a mountain of trash. It's a mountain of trash that they've just dumped soil on top of, and it stinks. And next to it, a second pile is starting to build up, with a very high chance that it will expand into the sea. This is ridiculous. And we just saw a dog playing with trash. A mindset that has been widely adopted by Lebanese officials for decades is out of sight, out of mind.
A massive explosion has torn through the Lebanese capital.
As a result, in 2020, 2,700 metric tons of a highly explosive material called ammonium nitrate that were locked away unsecured in a warehouse caught fire and exploded. The blast killed at least 200 people and severely injured thousands. But the explosion also left a trail of destruction across Beirut, with 800,000 tons of waste and toxic chemicals scattered into the air, soil, and water. It was the final straw for an already struggling country. A Human Rights Watch report found that Beirut's landfills had reached full capacity at the end of 2019 and were on the verge of collapse. But scientists have established that from the 85% of waste going to landfills, only 10% needs to, and the rest could be recycled or composted. So how did it come to this? And what solutions does this fractured country have left? This is what a typical beach in Lebanon looks like. A boardwalk in Beirut, a harbour in Batroun, the side of the highway, and this is the Qadisha River, running through the heart of Tripoli. Just trash everywhere. What Lebanon is living through is a result of years of reckless negligence, corruption, and collusion that can be traced back to the very top levels of government. For too long, politicians have only thought inwards, enriching themselves with public funds and neglecting to spend money on the services that they were meant to provide.
Supplies are being rationed as Lebanon doesn't have enough fuel.
Lebanon's economy has been in freefall. Shortages of food, medicine and fuel.
A report found that Lebanon spends $420 million a year on waste management. Yet in 2015, the waste crisis hit an all-time high, after government authorities closed a major landfill site that was overflowing in South Beirut, without implementing a contingency plan to replace it. The region's waste company suspended collection, causing piles of rubbish to fill the streets for weeks. This culminated in protests outside the Lebanese government. Since then, a number of stopgap measures have been put in place, like the building of temporary landfill sites and burning of waste, or even dumping it into the ocean. The environmental issues don't just stem from the failures in waste management. The neglect of public services can be seen right across the different sections of government. For example, the government spends around $1 billion a year on electricity, but there are multiple blackouts a day. And no one can predict when the government might turn off the power. Do you want to just explain what's just happened?
Welcome to Lebanon. This is how we work. We have electricity for half an hour and then it goes out for the rest of the day.
As a result, you'll find these diesel-powered generators all across the country, acting as a proxy for the electrical grid. Fuel consumption for diesel generators increased by 134% between 2010 and 2012, boosting an ongoing problem: air pollution. In 2018, figures published by the Environmental Ministry claimed that there are 941 random dump sites spread throughout Lebanon.
Because there is no national plan and no national law on solid waste management, 150 of these, the open burning is taking place every week.
And that number is bound to have risen since. Professor Najad Saliba, an air quality expert from the American University of Beirut, said that between 2017 and 2020, air pollution increased by 50% across Beirut, and the waste that's left to pile up in places like Tripoli emits methane and other greenhouse gases, adding to the air pollution issues. Every day, residents have to live with the strong odors from the waste, which have been linked to respiratory diseases, allergies, and the spread of bacteria. This is a river in Beirut, and its literal translation is River of Death. And it reeks. Oh my god, it smells so bad. Lebanon's waste crisis has also penetrated the country's water resources. This is the Litani River, running for 170 kilometers. It was always an essential artery that people relied upon to provide secure drinking water, ensure irrigation, and generate electricity. Now, it suffers from severe pollution. In April 2021, thousands of dead fish washed up on the shore of Lake Coron, where the Litani River has its source. Yet back in 2016, a $55 million pollution prevention project was approved by the World Bank and implemented by the Lebanese government to counter exactly this issue in Lake Coron. Its objectives were to reduce the quantity of untreated municipal sewage discharge into the Litani River and to improve pollution management around Lake Coron. But despite the multi-million-dollar cash infusion, the Director General of the National Authority of the Litani River expressed concern. He said that there were thousands of cancer cases reported in the towns surrounding the river, with one town recording 600 cases. Lebanese beaches haven't been spared the pollution either, with sewage water being dumped into the sea for years. 8 out of 36 public beaches in Lebanon are highly polluted, and 4 sites are classified as risky or unsafe for swimming. And I'm currently here at Ant 2, where the water is classed as highly polluted. And it's right next to this chemical factory, with who knows what just falling into the ocean. The government aren't doing anything. Who is clearing this up?
I mean, if you go scuba diving here in Lebanon, you're going to probably see more trash and beer bottles than fish. Aside from being a political issue, it's also an education issue. There is a problem of people not knowing how to recycle.
Studies have shown that improved waste management practices, such as recycling and composting, could save $74 million a year. And remember, according to AUB researchers, only 10% of Lebanon's waste can't be composted or recycled. People are now slowly starting to understand that they should recycle their waste, but they still don't have the support or facilities to do so.
Live Love Recycle is on a mission to make recycling easier by digitizing the waste management sector. In 2015, during the garbage crisis, we needed a way to recycle, but we didn't know how to sort our waste and we didn't know where to send our waste once sorted. So we had an idea. We created a mobile application where with a simple click you can request a pickup.
So I decided to go along on one of these pickups. The driver goes to the collection point where they pick up the recycling and take it to the drop-off center. There, the recycling is sorted and properly disposed of, and this is all free of charge.
If someone can give a donation, it always helps.
It's a positive sign to see that NGOs and other local startups and community initiatives have solutions for how to recycle their waste. Cleanups like this happen regularly across Lebanon and along its coasts. But more public awareness programs need to be implemented. And the authorities need to take responsibility because the beaches don't stay clean for long.
Seriously, don't know what to say. Seriously. We cleaned this beach a month ago, and this just happened.
In the last 4 weeks?
Yeah.
This public effort to enact change in the waste management crisis should be enough for the government to act on. They could simply seize the opportunities being presented to them to reduce 85% of their waste down to just 10%.
We're completely independent from the government. We try to collaborate with them. If they are here to support us, good for us. But unfortunately, till now, we didn't get any support.
Lebanon is a country plagued by decades of war and a broken political establishment. Trust in the government is at rock bottom.
I wouldn't ask what the government can do. I would ask each person in Lebanon to first reduce his amount of waste. If each one of them reduce 1 gram of it, it's a huge change.
With the country effectively back to where it was after the civil war, many in Lebanon believe that a total reshaping of the political system is required for a functioning government to enact real change. Despite the present issues, the country has a lot of potential to change course. Blessed with outstanding landscapes and a rich archaeological heritage that can support a strong tourism sector, along with a wealth of fertile lands and incredible cuisines. But most importantly, what Lebanon has today is many more solutions being presented on the ground to help navigate the country towards a cleaner future. Hey guys, thank you for watching. A different problem seems to arise in Lebanon every week. Since returning from my trip a month ago, Lebanon has experienced a total electricity grid outage, a fire broke out at an oil facility, and militia groups were fighting in the streets of Beirut. So if you would like to donate to the NGO Live Love and all its activities that we featured in this piece, you can find a link in the description below. And to see more videos like this, remember to like, follow, and subscribe to the channel for new videos every Friday.